Want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Dalton. I animate for Jaltoid.
Hi, I'm do stuff too.
They are. I've been kind of hanging out with them this whole like couple of days, and they are the most sweetest people I've ever met. They're seriously are just dolls, and I really I just really
too, Steve.
And then I'm StevRayBro, or Stev, or Steven, or guys, I almost stole Kaggy Films. Are you familiar with Kaggy Films? No, I almost stole his thing because he has like 4 different names and whatever you want to call me. But yeah, so this is animation on YouTube. I think on the thing it says how to do animation on YouTube or how to do animation, but how to do animation. This is supposed to be us talking about our experiences on YouTube as animators and how we're doing things and advice, and then we're going to open up to questions. Sound pretty good? Sorry if anyone felt misled. Also, when we do questions, I feel obligated to do this, but I'm part of the Frederator Network, and they gave me a bag full of puppy cats and cat bug plushies that if anyone asks a good question, we will throw them at you. So no silly questions just to get the toy, alright? And then you guys also brought some goodies too.
We brought a couple posters and t-shirts.
Yeah, talk in the mic.
Is this working?
Yeah.
We brought posters and t-shirts.
Don't talk that close.
You just I'm more excited. We brought stuff. I also. Yeah, and then I brought a special poster as well, so I'm not going to reveal it until we give it away. What's that? You just saw it? You can probably see it through it, but if you've followed me for a while, you'll know what it is. Let's just say it has a heart on it. So, yeah. Yeah, probably. Alright, so how about you guys? I'm sure there's more for you, so talk to us about how you got started with animation and just kind of like your journey to where you're at. 700,000? Somewhere near that?
Yeah, we're getting really close.
Am I not talking close?
Yeah, you got to talk right into it, like eat it.
They don't even.
I want to see it.
Well, basically, September about 2012, we moved in together. We'd been in a relationship about 2 years online, and we needed to find like jobs and whatnot. So we decided to just take a chance and see if YouTube would work while we were looking for a job, and it just kind of worked after the first 5 or so months. And I don't know. It just kind of worked, I guess. We just did whatever we felt would be funny or silly, and it just stuck with people.
We wanted to work together, but we weren't sure how. And like he had been animating for a long time, and I didn't really know anything about animation. He taught me everything I know about animation, and that's why we're a team. Is because we work so well together. We both have things that we can do, little things, and we're just better as a team. And that's how it happened, because we do things that just work best as a team.
Yeah, it's kind of where we base like everything we do. It's a collaborative effort. Nothing really we do is individual.
So like, what's the difference between what you did when you first started and videos you're working on now?
Better art.
Oh my gosh, I can't even look at the old ones anymore. I know we have them playing at our booth, but like, I know they're like our most well-known ones, but they're so sloppy, and they're all over the place, and I can't even look at them. I can't look at them anymore.
How many cartoons do you guys have in your career right now?
I think about 30. I don't really keep count.
Okay, and how long have you been doing YouTube?
About 3 years now.
3 years, so about 10 videos a year.
About. Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to make that a highlight is because with YouTube, I'm sure you guys all heard or seen videos talking about it where if you want to be an animator on YouTube, it's almost like running upstream because YouTube model is not friendly to animators. You see a lot of vloggers and Let's Players, and those are what's doing super well. The big thing is that if you can do daily content, that's the thing that the website wants. And you guys started doing Let's Plays too, didn't you? To supplement that?
Yeah, we actually started out doing Let's Plays. A lot of things. That's something a lot of people don't know. Is we did a gaming channel, like I want to say late 2011 or early 2012.
2012.
2012. Yeah, we did that first, and then we hopped over to animation when that really wasn't taking off, and then we went right back to it in about 2013.
But like, so, because one thing, you guys have like a nice simple style, and you were able to pump out 10 cartoons a year, right? Which is very significant because that's almost a cartoon a month.
Right.
Ideally for animation, that's what you need at the bare minimum. Usually once a week is like the sweet spot, but clearly making that, if you're not working in a huge team, there's no way possible. What's you gonna say?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you.
So like for me, they are more of the indie artists working on their own, and then I'm more of a freelancer who has a YouTube channel trying to grow it, but mine isn't currently making it where I can pay bills. So like, I've been animating for a channel called Yo Mama. It's got 1.5 million subscribers. I work with Red Minus, another prolific YouTube animator, and then I don't really like to brag about this one, but I also animated a majority of anime. And that, you know, highest brow comedy, that's the guy. And my story started out very similar. I was like, oh crap, I just graduated college, I need a job. And so like I threw a bunch of my artwork in everywhere. And Newgrounds was where Zach, the co-creator of those 2 shows, found me. And so that's kind of how I got started. And I didn't even have animation. They were just like, you draw really well, can you animate? Yeah. So you can really see my drawing paintings while it's on your guys' channel. Mine's on animating. It went from me never animating before to where I am now. Yeah, so awkward silence. We did not rehearse this. All right, so that was the big thing. Is that if you guys, how many people in here are here because you want to learn animation? That is a good amount, and I'm very happy about that. How many people are just excited because they're your favorite YouTuber? Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. How does that feel, by the way?
Pretty good.
Did anyone like drive out here just to see these guys?
Oh no.
Feel that weight on you?
It's fine.
At least because I know there's gonna be one hand. Did anyone come here to see me? Yeah, all right, yeah. High five. Let's do that.
Now I did.
Cool. All right. So I was expecting their origin story to be slightly longer, but how dare
You
you?
have a really like brief response, like the episode of SpongeBob when they have the pretty patties. How do you explain all of your success? I don't know.
I have a theory. So like, well, my thing is I would chalk it up to being able to do quick videos, and then also some of your stuff was very like hot topic at the time. You guys did some gamer girl ones. You had a couple of those, and that was kind of a hot topic. And that's another thing about YouTube is that. I'm sorry, I'm taking control of this.
No, that's fine.
I teach for a living outside of YouTube, so like I'm really good at like kind of just like taking over lectures. But yeah, how YouTube works is that if you hit topics, clearly those do well. You guys probably saw a spike of Five Nights at Freddy's content. If you put Freddy in your cartoon, it was really hard for you not to get 1 million views, right? And knowing those trends, it's tricky though, because I feel like there's kind of like a stigma to it. Like if you do nothing but parody work, there's like some people who be like, huh.
I think when you do a lot of parody work, it's hard to break in a following, but original work is a lot harder to market to people.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that because you gotta remember, YouTube is one of the biggest search engines ever, and the only one that's bigger is Google, which is attached to YouTube. So it literally is the biggest search engine. So when I personally, my YouTube channel is full of watch me draws. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do weekly, monthly, daily cartoons. That's impossible, right? So I got most of my success from working on other bigger channels, learning to animate, and once I get my skill sets where I want, I can start my own channel and that's what I'm doing this year. Is I'm starting to compare cartoons. But I did watch me draw, so record myself for a couple hours, edit a video, speed it up, and catch music to it, and people are searching for SpongeBob, for example. They found me, and a couple of people are like, I really like what this guy's doing, and they subscribed, and it's awesome. And then once I start doing cartoons, they're in for a treat. Any questions for me?
How did you get started?
I already did that. I did that.
I don't know. I think you're covering a lot more more than we are.
I'm just trying to make sure. Like my biggest thing is I want to make sure they're educated or happy with the panel.
Right.
How about this? How about we open the questions to you guys? Does anyone have questions? All right, that guy had his hands up first. So.
This is more of a question for my daughter. She's very interested in this. Not real vocal, so that's why I started out here. It's kind of a multiple question. She's 14. Now, you said that you went to college, but did you go to college for this? Did any of you go to college for, artistry or animation or anything like that?
I'll let you guys go first.
We haven't been to any school for anything we've done. I started when I was 12, I think, with the animation, and she's been drawing forever. So I just kind of, like when we got older, we just combined what we knew and we kind of figured it out.
For me, I did go to college, but I went for, I wanted to go to 2D animation, and I'm not gonna name schools or make animes here, but like I was told to 2D school because I'm passionate in 2D animation, and all the work they had on the wall was 2D, but then after getting so much in debt within the school, I found out it was a 3D school, because how it's structured was I didn't get to any animation courses, so after I took a bunch of gen ed and such. And I'm not a quitter, so I wound up going through the whole degree. But I honestly, most of my stuff is self-taught. Like, again, not trying to trash talk the school, but the person who taught me animation, took the 2D courses, they did have a few, was a film editor who happened to take a couple of Flash classes, and they qualified them. And by Flash classes, I mean a web design course. So I would say myself as self-taught. I don't, because I'm recording this on YouTube, but I can give you my spiel about colleges and such.
Okay.
Being both as a student and as a faculty member at colleges right now, but I don't want to pick enemies. But I do have some good advice for you.
Can I elaborate just a little bit?
Yes, go for it.
She's been drawing for a long time also.
3 sketchbooks in here.
Yeah. What's the basics that she needs to start out? Because she hasn't started trying to put it on YouTube or anything like that.
I haven't put it on YouTube, but I do animate. I only use like small programs like Flip a Clip, like you can get on your tablet.
Okay.
But I don't have like special like pens or anything to do it with, so it's all like done with my finger, which I've showed other people that, and they're like, how can you just do that without a pen? Because it looks exactly how you did with a pen.
Okay. You have anything for them? Again, because I'm long-winded, I don't want to take over.
They have like pens for tablets that they're like the little rubber top. You can get those pretty inexpensively.
Yeah, but they don't work very well.
Yeah,
That's what she's got like 10 different ones,
Oh, really?
and they
Yeah.
do like
Do they have
separated ones.
Yeah, do they have any, special?
I don't know about tablets, like as in tablet PCs. I do have some advice if you're doing like a regular PC and you're like, I want a tablet that you can draw. Like, if you go to my booth, I have like a Cintiq where you can see me drawing on the screen itself. Those are like anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 depending on how big and what. If you're doing freelance, like my advice when it comes to tablets, if you're a hobbyist, go for something cheaper. If you're a professional and you're making money off your art, you will pay for it in no time. But like there's a Cintiq competitor. It's like it's like YIYNOVA, and those things they are $600, which is the same price as like what an Xbox One when it first came out. My biggest advice for parents is like, hey, this is something that if they're actually interested in art, don't buy them a gaming system. Buy this. They'll have just as much fun if they're into art and they're further in their career, and they're getting cheaper as they go. So that'd be my advice if you have a PC or a Mac or something. As for those, I don't experience them too much, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the basics you just need to know regarding animation is the 12 principles. Squash and stretch and different things like that. You just Google search those. There's 12 little things that you can do that all animators should be following. For the most part, you can break the rules here and there, but they're what Disney came up with to make your animation look lively. And as long as you're doing frames, like you get two ways out with animation. With Yo Mama, we have pretty drawn one pictures being moved around, so limited animation, but they're really detailed, so it's still visually engaging. Or you do frame by frame animation. You do every frame. Those two are the ways to impress people. What do you say?
Yeah, we do more of like the first. How would you describe that?
The pretty pictures,
Pretty pictures,
and limited
yeah.
animation.
That's more what we do.
Yeah.
You do.
I both, yeah. Depending on what project, and because I'm freelance, I have to know. Like if someone's like, I need a 5-minute cartoon, there's no way I'm doing frame by frame animation. Where if it takes most people 20 minutes to draw one drawing, and I have to do like 24 per second. No. if it's like intros or like 6-second things, I'm definitely down. Like my little intro, I had me like sleeping and doing this. That was fun to animate, but it was only a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing
Yeah.
real quick? I don't want to dominate it, but I'm trying to gather information, helping her. Lost my train of thought.
This is what this is for.
Like I said, I don't want to take away from anybody else asking questions, but I think this is the last thing here. Is there like something on the internet, YouTube class that she would be able to take to get started doing this?
But like free tutorial type things, because there's a lot. My personal favorite is Happy Harry's how-tos. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen.
There's this guy Harry Archer. Yeah, he has a 12-episode series. It's like a couple hours long, but he goes through every single process of how he creates a cartoon. And it goes through the principles. It goes through Flash, which is a very popular animation software for a lot of us because it's cheap compared to like other software, and it's accessible. It's Adobe. It's one of those name brands where people are like, I know what you're talking about, But honestly, I would highly recommend that series. I watched it, I enjoyed it fully, and I got a lot of things out of it.
What was the name again?
Happy Harry, just Happy Harry how-tos. You should be able to find it in the first few. It's pretty popular.
All right. I think that's worthy of.
Yeah. So, do you want one of these, or do you want to give away your flyer? How are you doing?
She gets to pick.
Okay. What do you want? Do you want one of their flyers, or do you want a cat bug or a bobby cat?
Oh, that's me. Can I have one of the plushes, please?
Yeah. Which one?
A cat.
Oh, you didn't let me get to throw it.
Oh.
That was part of the fun.
Sorry.
All right. You choose the next person.
You in the white hat.
Yes.
So, how do you all deal with people who are constantly put out more content, put out this certain content, and just people who are bugging you and bugging you to do things?
Make a video. You just have to pace yourself. It's really important that you work on your schedule. You don't let anyone make you rush things out, because we went through a time where we thought we had to get things out really fast and our quality went down, and you really don't want that to happen to your content. You want to keep the quality up. So just work at your own pace and don't let anyone tell you you're not working fast enough or hard enough.
Also, remember the site's called YouTube. It's about you. And here's the thing: people are gonna get burnt out or tired of doing it if they're only doing it exclusively for the money and trying to get all the trends and doing the daily views. If you're an animator, and for me, I have a part-time job, so that if I want to, YouTube isn't my full thing, so I can work on things. Surprisingly, I have really nice fans. I really I have occasional be like, draw me, I'm your biggest fan. You deserve to draw me. That was something. But for the most part, it's usually like, this is really good. Can you please draw? I have really nice fans, but I'm significantly smaller, so I'm sure that comes in time. I'll choose you. You're the first thing I saw.
I'm someone who's been very self-taught in all the drawing that I've done, and as a hobbyist, how can you transition from being a hobby artist into more of a professional, or at least try to be more professional than just I'm just gonna draw this and see how it goes.
Okay. Do you have any advice first?
I'm doing the same thing I did before.
Okay. So, for me, it was I got lucky. My first freelance project was for the Grammy-nominated Pony for Soup. I sent them a MySpace message. I just I put myself out there, and people always came to me, and I always had word of mouth. So it's a tricky question for me. But honestly, find a couple of people that you like what they're doing and ask them if you can do something. Because most of the time, if you're starting out and you don't have a portfolio for it, they might be kind of questioning, to do it, but you offer some free stuff and you have you get a resume list going, it gets a lot easier. But also just advertise the fact that you are doing it. What sites do you put your stuff on?
Mostly DeviantArt, and I have Twitter, but it's always like linked to the DeviantArt, so that's the main place where I go.
Think about hashtag freelance or hashtag commissions or tagging those things. Like I was gonna say tag Tumblr because I'm sure there's people searching for it. But and then just don't be scared to do prices. Those are words which touchy subject. Most established people are like you deserve more. Other people are like, but I'm starting out, and people are just kind of scared. You just kind of have to find your happy point. But honestly, just putting yourself out there is the biggest advice.
I recommend doing a lot of cross-platforming with social media. Just whatever you can sign up with that people use, just take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. All right, your turn. Oh, do you want one? Oh, by the way, I didn't give two of you guys. Amanda, I know. She's actually one of my students from class. Which, do you want one of these?
Puppy cat.
Puppy cat? All right, and what about you?
I'll take a bug.
What's that?
A bug.
A bug? Okay. I'm really bad here. You try to throw it. Throw the one far away. I know I'm going to miss. You I can get to. Oh. Honor system. Yeah, I got you. Your turn. Yeah, Emmy.
Over there. Frankie.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So you said your animation from the start and where it is now improved with your drawings. Is there anything else that improved the animation, or what steps did you take besides to get where you are today?
We upgraded a lot of our equipment. That helped a lot. We had our sound quality was okay in the beginning, but we got a different microphone down the line. We got better tablets, and that it's not necessary. We could have survived without doing that, but it's just something we did to up the quality of our work. And we organize ourselves a lot more than we used to. We used to not really communicate as well with storyboarding and with the is that squeaking?
Yeah.
With
All
the animation and stuff. So we got a lot more organized down the line as well, and I feel like that helped us a lot. And that's a big thing. If you're working with more than one person, you need to make sure you're on the same page with your animation and your art to make sure that everything flows well and is consistent with each other.
I didn't hear the question, but I think you kind of got it. So, what do you want? Or do you want the plushie or want their flyers? Yeah, I'm starting to actually run low. I thought I had more, so I got 3. So we gotta make these count. No! Nice! That would be cool if we were hitting it in like a game. Alright, I guess it's my turn. One of the trolls, yes, you. Yep.
Okay, this is more of a drawing question. I don't know if some people have the same problem, but when I draw, I'm more of a sketcher, and my lines are not rounded at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to fix it, but I have no clue how to fix it. My drawings are much better in my sketchbook than they are on my computer because I'm a sketcher, and I have absolutely no idea how to fix it.
That's for me too.
It's a really common problem.
Yeah. Oh, just out of curiosity, how many people feel like their sketches look better than their final art? You're not alone. For me, it's for line quality. For me, I found that when I'm drawing, if I do really slow lines, it gets kind of these jerky things and it looks kind of awful. But if you draw fast, what I call confident lines versus inconfident lines, if you draw fast, you don't get so much. The only problem is that it's very inconsistent of what you want. There's a lot of times I'll be drawing something, Control Z, draw, Control Z, Control Z. But for me, that's faster than if I drew something and then I'm trying to clean it up. What about you guys?
Basically what I do to help with that is I'll use the stabilizer or something. Steven showed us something. It was Lizzie.
Yeah, there's a plugin for every drawing software for the most part, including MS Paint. But it's called Lazy Nizumi. I think it's $25 or something to buy.
It's not that much.
But it is a line stabilizer similar to Paint Tool Side if you use that. And it's pretty sweet, especially with Photoshop. And then on top of it, it also has like perspective constraints, automatic circles. Like it has a thing where you can put it there and you can draw the circle, and when you draw, you only draw that circle every time. It's super sweet. But that one's if you're drawing on a computer, Laziness would be pro. Oh, by the way, do you want one of these or one of their posters? Cat bug. Oh, no, sorry. Throw it back. First try. There's your phone right there. All right, you guys get the next one. Or did it? Yeah, you.
What inspired your unique art styles?
You go first.
That one is kind of interesting because we both had a very different art style in the beginning, like when we both did art, and after a while when we decided to work on the channel together, we sat down and we had to figure out what kind of animation style or what art style would work good for our animations. So we sat down and combined the pieces to both of our art styles, and whichever one we could both pull off consistently, we stuck with that. That's where we got our start with that.
For me, I look at things that I really enjoy, and I call this benchmarking, where you're like, okay, I like the style of that, I like that, and you know, sometimes when you like something, you can just start drawing towards it. So like mine right now, a lot of people are like, you look like you're drawing Steven Universe, and there's definitely a lot of Steven Universe because I'm obsessed with it. My name's Steven, I'm a fat, chubby guy with curly hair. Some people thought I made this show. Like, my friend Thomas was like, so did you sneak off? And I'm like, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, you know. But no, I really like the show just because like the art style just works for frame by frame animation because it's simple. The less lines you have to draw, the better it's faster, right? And then surprisingly, a lot of people don't see it as much, but One Piece was a really big inspiration for me in high school. So like back, if you look at like the thing, you can see me like slowly morphing from One Piece to Steven Universe, yeah. But then there's like little bits of like Gravity Falls in there and things, but it's really what you enjoy. Just take pieces of it, you know. If it looks too close, you know, be aware of it and try to add your own spin to it. But honestly, I think people get a little too wrapped up on trying to make their own art style. For Jaltoid, it definitely makes you more noticeable. Like people see your stuff, they automatically go. Apparently, people see it in mine, but I don't, because I tend to draw a lot. Like, I'm more of a chameleon. Like I can draw on other people's art style pretty well. And because I'm a freelancer, that means I tend to dictate the art style after I have a story or what the product is. So like instead of just trying to like shoehorn the same thing into everything, I go, okay, if this is a dark story, obviously this needs more, darker colors, a little bit more detail. If it's action, obviously instead of being like 4 heads tall, where it's like a short, big head character, it needs to be taller. So I like the story dictate that. Oh, my turn. I want to choose you, but we already had one over here, so you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off.
Oh no, sorry.
Oh,
sorry. The guy behind you. You know what? Oh man, I feel bad. But no, because I wanted to choose you. Yeah, the one with the touch his nose and face. Because before he was like this, like.
By all means, please.
I wanted that so bad.
Alright, okay. My question is a little more technical. Okay, I use Flash CS3. I'm pretty old because I'm poor. But yeah, when I use it, I actually am very curious as to the coloring methods because starting off, I just did bigger stuff, nothing too serious. But when I want to get into full animated features, I want things to be colored. And I'm curious, what coloring style do you find more, I would say, easier to start off with? Flat coloring, vector coloring, anything along that? I'm not really sure what I'm starting with.
It's probably easier to start with flat colors, and when you get more into it, the shading method we use is kind of hard to explain without like visuals, but we take the pencil tool, which
yes, what I do. All right,
it's separate from the brush tool, so you can like trace out where you want your shading to be, and then you can just clean it out with just clicking the lines and then just delete it.
To clarify, with Flash, there's 2 types of colors you can use. You can use lines and fills. When you use the brush, you're painting with fills, and if you use the other one, like there's definitely a clear difference between the lines, because like if you start deleting a little bit, a big chunk of it goes. And so like what he's talking about is when you draw a line on top of a fill, lines always dictate on top, right? And so it separates the thing. You hit paint, and then what I do is I draw all the shadows because you can select the whole picture and then choose lines, go to nothing, and it deletes it all. And the other thing is sometimes you paint behind. You ever do that?
No, I don't.
So like if I do line art and it's like a super complicated piece, and so, well, no, I don't move layers. It's Flash. You can't like just paint fill because it's in this canvas. So like sometimes I'll draw lines, and then on the same layer I'll switch the brush setting to paint behind, and especially for like little things like hair or like a little bit of shadowing on there, I can just kind of trace over it, and it won't hit the original lines. It only paints underneath new stuff. So it only paints transparencies, and then I hit fill for the main one. But their technique is what I use 90% of the time.
Have you ever tried, like, I've seen this before in once, where some guy exported this stuff to Photoshop and told it there, that, have you ever tried that?
Is that Hot Diggity Demon?
Might have been.
Yeah, if it was his Rosalina piece, I know exactly what you're talking about.
How would you do that?
I think he just kind of exported all his layers on separate pieces. So like, what you could do is delete the layer, export image, delete the layer, export image, and so you're only printing out one, and then just copy paste them all into one file. Yeah, cool. I got that one covered. Your turn.
Stupid guy, he chose both.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be real quick. Not only am I a fan of your guys' artwork, but I'm also a fan of your guys' voices. I've been thinking about getting into voice acting, and I was just wondering, do you guys have any side projects that you've been doing that I'm not aware of? Just lending your voices to something else? Because I feel like you guys are really good.
I don't
you
think
have the
we
voices
do.
for it.
I have to think about that. There's like small things that we do for friends.
We did some stuff for Jaltoid. I know that. I think it was Welcome to Fan Fiction and Wattpad. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce that.
That's awesome.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, that's good.
We don't really do much outside of our channel, but sometimes we'll do things for friends when they ask.
Yeah.
Alright. How about the one wiggling your fingers? Yeah.
I know sometimes, like, when you're animating a project, like, you know, the longer it is, it's like getting married with the idea, like, almost literally. So what do you do to reignite that spark when marriage kind of fizzles out?
Like burnout, basically.
That happened to us last year pretty badly. A big thing that we do is we try and switch to another project and like put that one on hold for a little while. That way we get excited again and we start working on that project and we'll switch back over as soon as we're done with that one or if we get burnt out of that project.
I just don't do long projects. I realize that like if it's anything longer than like a minute, if I can work on the animation for like 2 to 3 weeks, it's kind of like my big thing. After that, I start getting kind of like fatigued from it. So like I like smaller projects. So like what I might do if I work on something really big, I might just like section off into pieces and then like work on it for 3 weeks, then take a break from it, work on something else, and then come back to it. But for me, I just know my limit is like I do really good stuff in bursts. So I don't have long endurance for it. So just kind of be aware of your habits, basically.
A good thing too is make sure you give yourself some time to upload a little bit because one thing that we forget constantly is that people like us. So we have to upload something and get a reminder of that. That helps us a bit.
Yeah, because I do wiggly fingers.
Black shirt way in the back.
I'm having a hard time switching from paper drawings to my tablet and my computer. It just seems like they look so much worse on the computer than when I use paper and pencils. I do what I need to learn how to switch.
For me, there's going to be a growing pain. Just know that it's going to take you a bit. The reason why you're having issues is because paper friction and plastic friction are, it doesn't feel the same, right? There's going to be a little bit, like it took me like 2 weeks of just constantly drawing on it, hating my life, and then it kind of connected, to be honest. So just spend time on it.
I did mostly digital art, so I didn't really have to worry about that.
Alright, this kid ran into me in the hallway, and he did this like Thanks. So you deserve it.
I'm working on an animation cartoon series right now, and what can I do to speed up the process?
It's a skill set, so the more you do it, the faster you'll get. The only reason why I'm so quick is because I've basically been doing it for 10 to 15 years, depending on when you consider professional versus hobbyist. But yeah, I think it's just time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I think it took me probably close to 5 years just to be able to do something that didn't take me forever.
Also, quick keys, learning those. Do
Yeah.
you do like the keyboard shortcuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like knowing those, like a lot of people are like, I don't need to learn it, and I'm faster doing this, but like just keep in mind that this takes half a second to do this versus you moving your cursor. Now think about if you're working for hours and you have to do that, you're doing that what, like 6-8 times a minute. Think how fast you get. I know it seems really small, but it adds up in time. So. Oh, by the way, we have about 10 minutes left, I think, before we have to start wrapping up.
Oh,
yes.
I wanted to know about, like, when you're dealing with color and then you add the animation, like, is it easier to just, like, when you're doing, like, the expressive, like, things, like, where there's a hair sweeping motion, like, or something like that, how do you do that exactly?
Like with the coloring?
Yeah, like, how do you know what coloring is going on in the background, like, to, like, make it look more realistic, you know?
I didn't even understand the question.
How do you make it more expressive while keeping the color, maintaining the color in the background?
I mean, depending on what you're doing, like, it's like say, if you're doing like a piece where you have contrasting colors, where it's like, oh, your whole background's green themed, and then your main character's pink to make it pop more. I mean, just being aware of the colors. Personally, I start out with gray as the background, because that way your colors aren't washed out when you use white or black. Like, if you ever switch colors and your colors start looking off, it's because you did it designed to white. So gray is kind of a neutral color that works for everything. But again, like say if you know your themes are going to work a certain way, and you make your characters primarily pink, go ahead and make the background just a solid green color, you know, one that's similar to what you're doing, and you should be able to get a good match. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know you want to give away some posters, and we got 10 minutes. So how do we do this? How are you giving away the posters? I don't know. All right. Let's do lightning round questions, and I guess from now, whoever we call on gets a poster. How about that? Okay. I guess then I would also want to give away mine. Okay, so I'm gonna do the one kind of dancing a little bit in kind of a maid cat thing, I think. Okay, cool.
What programs do you recommend for beginners, and also what type of things do you shoot on my
So like you guys animate on 24, don't you? 24 seconds.
24 is industry standard.
Yeah. So like the big thing is 24 frames per second is kind of the animation big thing. I know a lot of like Red Minus and a few others work on 30. I've been working, since I work with Red Minus a lot, and a lot of my files have to kind of match with his, I work on 30 on 2s. So like it's 30 frames per second, but every 2 frames is the 1 frame. And if I have to do like a fast frame or a smear, I'll do 1. Just kind of, make it quicker. As for programs starting out, honestly, whichever ones you can get your hands on. Like, for example, I always do Flash because it's the cheapest. It's easy to get to. And for people who don't do legit things, they can get a hold of it a little bit easier. So, honestly, whatever you get a hold of. As long as, because when I teach my 2D animation courses at colleges, I don't teach Flash techniques like how to tween or like symbols, because that's a Flash thing. I want people leaving the program knowing how to animate. So you can take you can leave if you know the principles. You can animate on paper. You can animate in Photoshop. You can animate in Flash. You can animate in Toon Boom. You can animate in anything. As long as you're learning the traditional fundamentals, those translate everywhere. Right?
Yeah, pretty much covers that.
You want to give them one of those?
Can't really throw it.
You can't throw it. Come up here. Emmy, choose someone while we're doing this.
Me?
Yeah, go.
Right there.
Yep. Steph did say that some people get tired of YouTube after a while. And then in some cases you get tired of doing like art or animation are some things that like keep you going or inspire you to keep on drawing and animating?
Alright, while we're answering that, come up here and get a poster.
For us, it's a big thing is just being able to work together. I think that's what really keeps us going. Because
Also, real quick, a big thing for me especially, I just want to make sure I get out there because I've been too nervous to talk the whole time. It's just like when you get the emails and you get the comments and like you
Things
see
like
the
this.
people. I like things like this and the people who just like really want to see us. They genuinely really like us. They really like our stuff. They say we inspire them to draw and to keep going. That's what really like makes it worth it for me. At least I know it makes it worth it for him. But that's what I really like the most.
I agree. I got a care package recently. It was just like a bag just full of stuff by one fan. They made me a watermelon Steven from Steven Universe and some like paintings and stuff. I've been showing it to everyone. But like those things are awesome. And then just remember, you love cartoons, watch some cartoons. You know, like after watching Steven Universe, I'm always ready to do something. You know, so just find something you're passionate about, and it reunites you. Let's do you.
How long would it normally take to put out a large project of content?
Define large project.
Like maybe in an hour or half an hour long cartoon?
it depends on where you're at with your animating, I guess, career. Because thinking for us, it might take us close to a year to do something that's 30 minutes.
Keep in mind that most television shows, they have a team of people, and they also ship it off to other countries to animate. It takes most television shows that are animated 6 months to produce one half an hour. So, and that's a team of professionals. Now you're asking 2 people working on it or 1 guy, that'll take a long time. So, I don't know how long Harry's StevRayBro thing is, but he's still nuts. Because he's trying to do industry standard television stuff by himself, But it honestly, especially with how YouTube's, for example, if you're doing it for profit or trying to make a living off of it, there is no revenue stream that will be able to warrant you working for a full year. So it's a little out of the question. I'm sorry. You too. Yeah.
How long do you usually spend drawing 1 frame or 2 frames?
It depends on how complicated the frame is. It can take anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour.
Mostly because when we have to do the frames, it's composed of tons of layers and symbols. You'll have a symbol, and then you'll have 10 layers in there, and then for each layer you have 1 more symbol that has a bunch more layers in there. So it takes a long time to get them all together just for 1 frame.
And then a lot of times, myself included, you can draw a sketch, so a gesture drawing to figure out what it is. Then there's a refined drawing. Some people, then I do another refined drawing, and then I finally do the final frame. So it can take me anywhere from a couple of minutes to half an hour, preferably. All right, I will do the girl with the teal hair.
At first, how do you guys get your animations noticed, when you're just starting out?
Okay. You go first.
Oh, I missed.
Oh, how did you get your animations in people's eyes, basically?
We picked up some subjects that we thought people would relate to, or maybe something that people would, understand, and that's how we, we just picked things that people were interested in.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing, keep in mind, YouTube's a search engine, right? So if you pick something, say Pokemon, you have a higher chance of getting more views because people love Pokemon. People are searching for Pokemon. Now, if you do something really obscure, like one-eyed cats, you're probably not going to get nearly as much, But yeah, so pick I think Eagle Raptor did it on a panel once where he said a good advice is do parodies until you hit a certain landmark. I don't know if I 100% agree with that because if you do parodies all the time, people are expecting that, and as soon as you switch to your original content, they might get upset. You might lose subscribers from it, or people just stop watching. I'm going to attempt to do something for views, do something for myself, do something for views, do something for myself. Kind of keep the channel growing, but also keep in mind that I do animation for myself.
and most of the work we've done really hasn't been parodies, so there's a chance out there not to even touch parodies.
Keep in mind that parody is a very oversaturated thing too. Like, because you guys do like your, I think your best animation, my personal favorite at least, is the anxiety one with the Subway sandwich. That's super. How many people love that one? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's super relatable because there's a human element to it, and like that's what I love about it. So
we actually went to Subway this morning, and the dialogue was like spot on for the first minute.
I got a turkey on white.
All right, so I don't see anyone like telling us to wrap up, but we usually things end, so we got 2 minutes. Anyone particularly a fan of mine? Because I want to give away my poster. Okay, I saw your hand, like the hat. Yeah, you're the one questioning it. Yeah.
I want to know answers for beginning.
No, sorry, the one that was sorry. That is the I'm gonna make my own anxiety animation. It's gonna be this panel. But yeah.
How'd you find out about Steven Universe, and what is your favorite episode?
Okay, my favorite episode is probably currently the one with rainbow quartz in it, the most recent one. I really love that one. If not that one, come back to me in my thing, because I know I had a favorite. But so my poster I'm giving away. If you guys have been following me since Valentine's Day, is this one. Come up here. By the way, ladies. All right. You got 2 shirts. We got a minute. How are we doing this?
You just throw them out.
Just throw it. Knowing me, they'll go somewhere over here. All right. Cool. Do that side. All right. I'm gonna stand up for that. I randomly threw it, I promise. All right, does everyone feel satisfied by the panel? Let's hear some of it. Thank you. But Duke's the person ready for us to wrap up, I believe. So, but by the way, we are both next to each other. We're 651 and what's your panel number? Or your booth? 649. We're next to each other. If you haven't come visit us, come. They have more. Do you have more posters or?
Posters and just that shirt.
Yeah, and then I also have stuff. But yeah, come say hi to us at our booths.